Let's get started. So we have seen data types, variables is the one of the pillar of the core Java, data types, variables. Second pillar is methods. So methods is the sub-block of a class that contains the logic of that class. So any method which is going to have the logic. So logic must be placed inside the method body, not directly at a class level. If we place logic at a class level, compiler throws an error. If we place logic at a class level, compiler throws an error. So class level, we are allowed to place variables and methods. So class level, so we are allowed to place variables and methods. That's the, so yesterday I already explained variables, where you will place and where and all. I hope you all clear on that points. So the logical statements such as method calls, calculations, print related statements, these are all must be considered as a logic. So the logic means calculations, variable declaration. In method inside you can declare variables also. You can write a logic also. Logic means a calculation part logic. Print related statements you can write. Object creation you can do that. And you can call one method inside another method also. So these are all will be considered as a logic. And syntax of method is access modifier, keywords, return type, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, write the logic and close the curly bracket. See, every method start with a curly bracket, end with a curly bracket. If you want to create one more method, first after this end curly bracket, after only you can start the next method. So this head portion of the method is called method prototype. So that means this is the example, public static void main bracket string args. This is called method prototype. So method body and logic means the curly braces reason is called method body. So the statement placed inside this curly bracket is called logic. So the third portion is a very important, method parameters and arguments. So what is meant by method parameters and arguments? See that the definition, read it carefully. The variables declared in method parentheses are called parameters. The variables declared in method parentheses are called parameters. So what is the variable declaration?
Int a equal to
data type variable name equal to
data type variable name equal to value.
That is wrong. You almost close, but that's wrong.
In
Variable declaration, I'm asking.
int a, sir.
Why int a? What is int a?
data type variable.
Data type variable names. It just
Access
declare.
modifier data type.
Data type variable name. That's the variable declaration. Yesterday only I told, right? I think you're not listening the video again. That is the points important. Data type variable name. That's the variable declaration. That if you do in this parenthesis, that is called parameters. So we can define a method with a 0 to n number of parameters. So one method can have without parameters. A method can have n parameters. So n can be 1 or 2 or 3 or any number of parameters. So the values passing to those parameters are called arguments. In method invocation, we must pass arguments according to the parameters order and data type. So which order you declared, here the parameters, same order you give the values. So if you pass the values for the parameter, you call that arguments. So when you will pass values for the parameters while calling the method. So first you will define the method with parameters. After that, so wherever necessary, that method, you will call that method. So calling the method time, you will just pass the arguments for that parameter. So that is called arguments. So passing the values to the parameter is called arguments. So the values passing to those parameters are called arguments. So the variables declared in method parentheses are called parameters. See all definitions you got. If you know these basics, and you will get it easily. So these basics only important. So see, I very clearly read this word by word. In method invocation, method definition is different, method invocation is different. What is method definition? This is the method definition. Access modifier, keywords, return type, method name, parenthesis, data type, P1, or if you want to add one more parameter, comma you place, then first data type, P2, comma, data type, P3, and so on. Then logic you write. So this is the method definition. And method invocation means calling this method. So this is the example I'm giving. Access modifier place. What is the keyword I use? Public. Keyword I'm using static method I want to create. That's why static keyword. Return type void. So method name I have given any name, but I'm giving add. So data type is int a, comma, data type is float b. So how many parameters we have created for this method, add method?
Two
Two parameters. One is A and another one is B. So this is the method definition. So method definition, method prototype and method body. Body inside C. This A and B I'm using inside the method body in the logic. You must use, if you declare a parameter here in the parenthesis, you must use these parameters in the method body calculation. See, here you are not hard coding the data, you are just parameterizing that. This is what parameterization means. So tomorrow anybody can call this method, they can give their own data, A value and B value. A value integer, B value float. They can give their own data. That is what the parameterized method means. Then why do you need a parameters? Means you can test this method with any data, any integer value, any float value. You want to sum, and this is the logic they have written. So the output of this, you will get a float data or double data. And this, so can you tell me now this sum is a what kind of variable?
Local variable. Local variable.
Local variable.
Local variable, right? Method body inside, data type, variable name, assignment operator, and value. Value means it can be expression also. Expression means you are doing a summation of here. So then how to call this is the method definition. Method declaration and definition is done here. Then how to call this method? How to call this method? So in the main method, I'm calling main method. So I want to execute, I'm calling. So static method. This is also static method. Both are same category in the same file. So how to call that? Directly
call.
The name. So method name, and you have to pass this A value and B value you need to pass. See, same, one more time you can call the method and give a different data. See, 15, A value and B value 20.2. So this is the how you can, this is called method invocation or method calling. Are you clear on this is a method definition? This is method invocation or method calling. So in the calling time only, see you are passing A value and B value. What you call this? Arguments you are passing. So how many of you clearly understood this third point?
I
If anybody not understood, ask me, I'll explain again.
Sir, please explain again, sir.
That's what I want. The variables declared. So this is the one. Variables declared. What is the variables declaration? I told you. Data type,
variable name.
Variable name.
Data type, variable name. That is what? That you call them as a parameters. This is now P1 is one parameter. P2 is another parameter. And how many you declared? Not necessary you have to declare 3. That's what I'm saying. 0 to n number of parameters. You should know how many you want in this method, how many parameters you want. So it can be 0 parameters, it can be 1 parameter, it can be 2 parameters. That's why I'm saying 0 to n. N can be any one. So, and the values passing to these parameters, I'm passing here while calling. See, in the method invocation only you will pass values. So the same order. Can I change the order? Now first integer A, first float, then float B. Can I give float value first and then integer?
No.
What will happen if you give like that?
Float value will assign to integer, sir, and integer value will assign to B. Error, it throws error.
That is what the answer. It throws an error.
Error.
See that? It's very clearly mentioned. That's what. Parameters, order and type you have to follow. What is the order here?
In A and float B.
Integer A. So that's why you have to pass integer only. Then B. Then you have to pass float only. That's what every word meaning is there here. So same order, what is in the declaration of the method, what is the order you followed? While giving the values also, you must follow the same parameter order and parameter data type. You cannot exchange, you declared here one way and you can declare, you can give the values in different way, means it won't accept. It will throw an error, compile time error. Are you all clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is the method declaration and this is the example and how to call the method with the same method name used. See that method name. So you can see, you can follow this syntax. You can easily recollect. What is the access modifier I used for add method?
Public.
So what is the return type keyword I have used for the add method?
Void.
So how many parameters we declared?
Two parameters. Two parameters.
That's what, if you follow this, you can answer all the questions. You will get every question answered. Then what is meant by public?
Access. We can use it anywhere in the program.
We can use this add method anywhere. In the project, entire project, anywhere you can use. That's the meaning of it. This is giving a permission for this add method. Okay, go and use this anywhere. That's what it is. This public keyword is telling for that. Are we good, Nikita, now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's the very, very important topic in the methods. So why do you need to create a parameterized method? You should understand first. So why do you need to create is to test the same method with a different sets of data. And you will create a parameterized. So you got a scenario, you want to test that with a different input data. Then how can you do that? That input values you declare first as a parameters. So how many parameters you want? Then make sure you use these parameters in the method body in your calculation. You must use them. That's very, very important here. So calling the add method is just main method below, because this is also static, main also static, both are same category. So you can call the method name directly and pass the parameters. How many are there? 2 parameters are there. In the same order you pass it. Next, method signature means what? The combination of method name and parameters is called signature, method signature. That means this is called method signature. This is called method signature. So this is the method signature. The name and parameters. So that's a method signature, we call that. This is another 5th one is a very important return type. 3rd point and 5th point is a crucial. 5th point is crucial, return type. What is meant by return type? See the definition you read. The keyword that is placed before method name is called method return type. So how can you say, how can you find out the return type? See that. Read this definition n number of times until you understand the meaning of this entire sentence. The keyword that is placed before method name. Can you tell me what is the keyword placed before this method name?
Void.
Void.
What is the keyword we placed this before this method name?
Void.
What is meant by void?
Return type. Return type.
Won't return any.
It does not return any value.
Doesn't return any
value.
It won't return any value, just
Any value.
executes the code, executes the code. So see, this main method also executes the code, but it won't return any value. It doesn't return if you use void keyword. There are other return type keywords. There are other return type keywords. But if you use void, it won't return any value. That's the meaning of it means. So it tells to the compiler and JVM. So the return type keyword tells to the compiler and JVM about the type of value is returned from this method after its execution. After its execution. If nothing is returned by the method, then we can use void keyword, which specify the method returns nothing. So what is the meaning of that? If nothing is written by the method, then we can use void keyword. So which specifies that method is going to return nothing. So what are the return type keywords? So void, boolean, char, byte, short, all primitive and non-primitive data types are the return type keywords along with the void also. So if you use this, all this, that means, for example, if I use boolean for the method as a return type, what is meant by that?
It will return
true or false.
So that method is going to return for you true or false. So if I use a long, what is meant by that?
It's going to return a long type.
It is going to return a long type. After all calculation, you are going to get a long type. So if I declare a string,
a string type data.
so after calculation of that method, so the method will return a string type data. If I return the interface,
Interface data type.
Interface data type.
Value.
It returns interface data type value.
It returns interface data type. Then class, same way. Array. So your method is going to return array. So your method is going to return collection. Your method is going to return by map. So that's all the return type is. If you type that kind of data type there in place of void, that means that method is returning a value. If you write a void, that is not going to return value. So there are two types of methods we have: static method and non-static method. Are you clear on this return type?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, static methods.
Sir, can you explain
sir.
method signature once?
Method return type means the keyword that is placed before method name is called method return type. It tells to the compiler and JVM so about the type of value that is going to return to you after method execution. If you use void, that method is not going to return any value by method after execution. If you use void, it doesn't return anything. But other than void, if you use, and what data type you are using in that return type keyword place, in this return type keyword place, that will return the return type keyword place. If you write other than void, that means this method is going to return for you this type of data by this method. The final output can be this type of data. Are we good?
Can you explain method signature?
Method name and this whatever is there in the parenthesis, that's a method signature.
But this other one, main string, then here what
this
it
is
is?
not a method name, madam.
No, not that one.
This is the arguments. This is the first class I told these arguments. Data type
Mm.
and parameter. What is the data type of this parameter? String data type, string array data type.
String
The
array.
first class I have given this, right? Data type and parameter. What is the change? Again, same for process, right? Again, they followed same process. Data type means
So-
first you should know first primitive
Is-
and non-primitive. This is
Sir,
the
so all the time the data type is string only here?
Why for a main method it is a string. For main method it is a string. And did I use a string here for my method?
That's why. No, there it is integer.
No, I created an integer. I want integer. What you want, you decide. But for main method, it is fixed.
Okay.
For main method, it is fixed. It won't
Okay.
change because they already created that.
Okay.
You cannot change that.
Okay.
So why you need a main method?
Executor.
Hmm?
To execute the
Whoever that person is asking, did you read first our class? That's what I'm keep on telling. Read our first classes notes and videos. You have to listen them. Otherwise, this kind of problems you will get, madam. If you don't read first classes,
Okay, sir.
every keyword is very important. And you are not reading them and coming to here again, the basic will miss. That's why I'm telling basics are crucial. Word by word, understand and come back. And if you have a problem, you should have shot that question there itself. You say, well, a long time back we finished this. I explained there in the beginning classes. Go and listen to that video again, madam.
Okay, sir.
Why main method and why main method made it as a static, I covered it very clearly there. And how many types of parameters are there for main method, I covered there. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, static method. Methods are two types, static method and non-static method. What is mean by static method? If a method prototype line contains a static keyword, then that method is called static method. So method prototype line means access modifier, the static keyword, then return type, method name, parenthesis. That is the prototype. That prototype line contains head portion of the method. The head portion of the method contains a static keyword that is called static method. That's a very simple to recognize. If a method has a static keyword on the signature, that type, the prototype line, then that is called static method. So when you can use static method, it is common to often refer to a static method in Java as a class method. These are also called class methods because you will always represent static members with the class only. That means class name dot static variable, class name dot static method if you want to represent one class members in another class. That's what we have seen. System.out, system.exit, all these are static members of the system class. You're referring in another place means that class name dot that variable, class name dot that method you are representing. So that's what these static members are. So belongs to class. So the reason is that the static members are associated with the classes and their objects. Similar to static variables, static methods can also be invoked using the class name. How you can invoke in another place the static variables and static methods? By class name. So see, I'm repeating that point continuously. And I have shown you in the system.out to system.exit to system.set property, system.get property. All these are methods of system class. How I am calling them? With a system class. So there are some important points. Let's go and understand one by one. The static methods of a particular class can only access the static variables and can change them. So in the particular class file, particular class, that static variables you can use inside the static methods and you can change that static variable value if you want. But you cannot use non-static variable inside the static methods. That I covered yesterday. And again, yesterday topic also important. So static method can only call another static methods. So one static method you want to call in another static method, you can call directly. Static methods can't refer to non-static variables or methods. See that? See, every point is important. All these points you imbibe and really helps you while coding time. Static methods can't refer to super or this members. So these two keywords you cannot use inside the static methods. That's more than enough. Okay. And static method, there are 4 types of method syntaxes. So one is a method without parameters and a method without and with parameters. Without parameters, with parameters. 2 categories. But again, in this, you have a with void, without void. So in this parameter, without parameters, with parameters, you have with void, without void also. So a non-parameterized static method. Non-parameterized means no parameters, right? If a method doesn't contain any parameters inside the parentheses, then that method is called non-parameterized static method. So what is the syntax? Access modifier, static, void, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, logic, curly bracket end. So this is the method name, no parameters here. So parameterized static method. If a method contains parameters inside the parenthesis, then that is called parameterized static method. So access modifier, static, void, method name, data type P1, comma, data type P2. So these are the parameters with void. See, with void, without parameters. With void, with the parameters. So this is the one set of methods. So there is another set of methods without void. So access modifier, static, data type, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, and write the logic. And what is extra you are getting for the
Return value.
return
Yeah.
value? This value from where you will get in this logic. So you will write a calculation, right? That calculation will give you output. That output you are telling return that output. Some variable maybe you will use here in this line. That variable name you will write here. That means that variable has a data, right? Variable, what is the variable purpose? It has a data. It will store the data. That data you are putting, and when call this method, and this value will be written by this method. And what is this value data type? This is the one you are specifying here. What data it has to return by this method you are telling here. This is the return type keyword. Another return type. So any data type is a return type. So access modifier, static, data type, method name, and so brackets, data type P1, comma, data type P2, and so on. So logic, return the value. So this is another return type method which returns a value with the parameters also. So these parameters you must use in this logic. So P1 and P2 you must use here. And after calculation, this is going to return a value. So this is a method with returns without parameters, a method without void with parameters which returns. A return keyword is mandatory in the method body. If you don't write void before this method name, that's what I told you definition. The keyword that is placed before method name. So whatever you are placing here, that is called return type. So that is the return type I am saying. Return type means not only void. Void is the one of the return type keyword. Any primitive and non-primitive data types are return types. Are you all clear on this?
Yes.
Any questions? No questions? Okay, so but this is a very, very crucial topics. Please keep that in mind, okay? And all these syntaxes should be in your mind so that while creating the methods, you won't face problems. If you know these syntaxes, you won't face problems. Okay, next. Something I want to cover here. See that? So below example, class test int counter. So what type of variable is this?
A non-static
Type.
default, non-static variable, non-static variable, sir. Default
Non-static variable with a default access
Default.
modifier.
Yes.
Just you declared, but didn't assign
sir.
a value.
Well,
So now public static void increment. I have used this. So this is the what type of method is this?
static
Void, sir.
static void method.
So static method, right? Can you use a static method inside a non-static variable?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So then what will happen here now? Now which line you will get error here?
That like counter plus
Counter plus line you will get error because you are using this non-static variable in the static methods. So you will get a compile time error here. So that is what I am showing here. You will get a compile time error, you cannot use that. So non-static variable counter cannot be referenced from a static context. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How to call static members in the same class? Static members means what are all static members you will consider?
Method.
Variable method.
Variables methods.
Which variables? Static members
Static
means
variable.
what you will consider as a static members. Which one you will consider as a static members?
If they are
Static methods.
static keyword.
Static keyword, only static keyword. Members means what?
Start variables of methods.
Method blocks.
Which variable I am asking?
Static variables.
Static variables.
Which methods?
Static methods.
Static
Static
methods.
methods.
Static variables and static methods
Static
and
method.
static members. So how to call these static members in the same class? Suppose you have a class inside you have a static variables and static methods. How you can call them in another methods of same class? That's what the scenario, first scenario. So in the above, already you created the methods. Now the calling process I'm showing. How to call them. So creating the methods, I have given already scenarios here. So these are the creating methods. This is the one creating methods, another method, 4 type of methods, and variable declaration I covered already. How to declare static variables, how to create this method, how to create this method, how to create return type method, return type with parameters, how to create 4 type of methods. You also practice 4 type of methods in the class, create them. Now I'm going to show how to call them. Once you create, how to call them. Okay, so that I'll cover that straightforward. I'll go to the Eclipse and I'll write the static methods, all these 4 types of static methods. Okay, let's jump on. So this is the one, right? Our project. So in this project, here you see, I created a method programs package. So the relevant classes I'll create under this package. So methods, we are discussing methods only, method related programs you write there. So right click on this package and create a class. That is, so which one I'm explaining? Static members demo. Static members demo. In this I'm going to create a static variables and static methods. All 4 types of static methods I'll create. And start with the static variables. That static data I'm going to use inside the static methods. I'll create a local variables also. I'm going to cover all this. Take the main method also. Because if you want to execute, I need a main method. So click on finish. So I created a class under this package. This package inside this class is there. This class below you have a main method. So let's pull that main method down. I don't want to touch now that. First I have to create my static variables and static members, static methods, how to create them. So to create that, so first I'll declare a static variables. What are the static variables? A declaration. What is the static variable declaration and assignment?
Access modifier.
Access modifier, static,
Static.
Data type.
Variable
Variable
name
name.
is equal.
Variable value.
This is assignment also. This is the assignment. Okay. So let's do assignment. First I'll use private, then static. So I'll use one char C equal to capital A. So did I follow this syntax or not? Anywhere
Yes,
deviation is there?
No.
No, sir.
So that's what, if you remember this syntax, easy to create your variables and you can tell. Now tell me, what is the access modifier of C variable?
Private, sir.
Private.
So what is the data type of C variable?
Character.
What is the value of C variable?
A.
Capital.
So C contains, what is the value? A. So what is your variable name?
C.
Variable name C, sir. C, sir.
C.
That's what, follow this. If you don't know, one by one you compare, okay? Access modifier private, static, then data type character, then variable name C, and assignment value is A. It is like that you compare word by word and you will get answer here. Anybody having a confusion? Always the assignment operator before variable name will be there. Remember that. The assignment operator before variable name will be there. So what this assignment operator will do?
Assigns a value.
Left side value. Right side
Right
value.
side
value to left side value.
To the left side variables.
The right side value will be copied into this variable. I already covered this point. And you should remember that. Again, I'm repeating one more time. This assignment operator will copy the right side value into left side variable. Okay, let's move on now. So then static, that means access modifier I use default. Static and int. So I equal to 10. Protected, float, F equal to 4.5, capital F. So public, static. So here I missed the static keyword. Can you see that? I missed it. So you have to follow that word by word you follow. Okay, access modifier you have written. Then static keyword, then data type, then variable name equal to value. Static, and I'll take it along. L equal to 100, capital L. So I'll declare one more variable, public, static. So double, so D. This is just a declaration of static variable. What do you call this? This is just a declaration. Not assignment, I'm saying. Just you declared, you didn't assign a value. Declaration of static variable, you can do like this. So you can do declaration like this. So this one is static variable, declaration and assignment. So these are all declaration and assignment, but here only declaration. So what? How many static variables we declared now?
5.
5, sir.
5 static variables. What are all the 5 static variables we declared?
Character.
Cat, int, float.
Again,
float, long, double.
why you people are missing that? Huh? What is my question? Can you understand my question, please?
Variable name.
How many variables we declared? I'm asking.
Once.
What are those? I'm asking, right? What are those variable names?
CIFLE.
Then why char? Why are people are telling char? Char is a variable.
No, sir, it's a data.
It's a data type.
There is a lot of difference, right, between data types
Yes,
and variable.
Yes.
That's where the problem. That means you are not confident on the previous topics. This is where the problem. See, here I told you very clearly variable names means. So C, I, F, L, D. Now where you can access C?
Within the class.
Within the class, sir.
So what is the access modifier it has?
Private, sir.
Private.
So where you can access I?
Default means within the
Default, sir.
package.
Within the package.
Within the package. Where you can access F?
Within the package and outside the package also, but we use inheritance concepts.
Where you can use L?
Anywhere.
Anywhere, sir.
Anywhere.
That's what. Who is giving permission for all these variables?
Access modifier.
Access modifier. So based on the permission only you can access them. Otherwise you cannot access. See, I cannot access in another class because of private. Okay, is it clear? I'm covering the access modifiers also here one more time. So I'm going to cover now methods. We'll declare methods. Let's go and declare the methods. So first, what is the first type of method? Access modifier, static
Method without parameters.
method name,
Parenthesis.
Parenthesis.
Logic.
curly bracket, logic.
Close.
See, that method is ended here. After my logic, the method is ended with the end curly bracket. This is the standard. If you want, you should know what type of method you want to create. Then follow that syntaxes. Access modifier, I'm making private. Static. So then void. Because I'm creating a void parameter without parameters. Void method without parameters. Division method I'm creating. So no parameters. I'll use that above data. See that when you place the curly bracket, first curly bracket, then press enter key. Automatically you will get the end curly bracket. Then you won't miss. Otherwise, if you are not pressing enter key, this won't form automatically. Again, you have to write. If you follow this syntax, fine. But many people didn't follow these syntaxes. I know that. So to avoid any errors, further errors, after placing the first curly bracket, beginning curly bracket, press enter key. You will get automatically end curly bracket. And then you can, otherwise some people are smart people, they can easily catch, okay? If you put a cursor here, the end curly bracket, it will do the pair up. First place always here. So what is that? End point, this one, okay? These two are pair up. So done. This method is done. Now you write the logic. So write whatever you want, okay? Just a simple, and I am declaring one local variables. Data type, variable name equal to value. So data type is, so you can take byte bt equal to 5, short sh equal to, so 20. So like this, two variables I declared, I'll make this final, okay? So final variable also I will cover. See, both are local variables, bt and sh, both are local variables. But this is the local variable we can change at any point of time. This one you cannot change because this is a final keyword is there. So now first I want to find out, I'll use all these variables, C, I, F, L, all I will use. So I'm going to use first division. So division we can do, one is reminder, you need to get it. How can you get a reminder for the expression?
A mod?
Modulo.
Module. Oh, so you have to use module. Reminder. So reminder, how you will get? Mod. So mod, what is the mod? Percentile. This will give you, this concept you should know what this is going to give. This will give you a reminder. So the percentile is called mod, which will give you a reminder. So which will give reminder. So that you should know first. So I'm going to get a reminder. I want always you will get integer, okay? So integer reminder equal to, let's use all this C, I, all these things. I'm going to use C plus I plus L is in the bracket, the expression, bigger expression, right? That's why I'm putting in the bracket. So percentile. Again, I'm putting in another bracket. I can write my own BT plus SH. So why it is throwing error? Can you see what it is throwing error? Can you understand? Can just, if you get like this, mouse over first. Read that. What is this?
Type mismatch.
What is the type mismatch here? What is the reason here type mismatch?
Cannot convert long
Long
from
to integer.
So which one is long now? Right hand side or left hand side?
Right side is long, sir.
Right side is a long. Long memory size. What is the long and integer? Both the same data type, right? But why are you getting?
Memory.
Memory.
Memory is not same. Long is a bigger memory, but integer is a
Smaller memory.
smaller memory. So what is the long memory size?
64, sir.
64. What is the integer memory size?
32.
32.
That is the reason you are getting a type mismatch error. So how can we solve this?
By using left side data type, right side.
Typecast.
Typecasting. That we call typecasting. How to do typecasting? Manually you can do, or you mouse over, you will get here automatically. Add a cast to integer. That means right side one you convert into integer format. So this is the how to get that. So the static data I'm using in the static methods. See, all this static data I used here. Next. So fetch the quotient value. What is quotient value? How many of you know? How can you get the quotient value?
It's by divided by.
Divided by, this is the symbol you have to use. So quotient value means the brackets you will get, right? So that's a main thing. So I can say double quotient val equal to. So I'm going to use again same variables. So these variables, see, I declared ones here and I'm using them here. So I'll use all of them. C plus I minus F plus L and so all this. That expression, then division operator, then I can say, so I'll use my logic, my own logic I'm building. It's up to you what you want to write also. It's you take decision, okay? There is no thumb rule. You have to use like this only. No, I am writing my own logic. You also write. You want to do all plus plus or you want to do minus minus. It's up to you what you want to do. But finally, this is the output. I'm dividing with this output. You got clarity? This is our own expression. This not, there is no thumb rule. You have to use like this only. Okay. So we need to write all this. So what is the method inside? I told you logic means print related statements, variable declarations, calculations, again print statements, calculations, print statements. That's the logic. So quotient values. So logic means that's the one. Any method, this entire thing is you are defining this division method with all these statements. These are all called method definition. You are giving a definition for this method. So what is mean by definition? You are telling, okay, division method is going to do all these statements. That's a definition you are giving for the method. See all this, no, some of them are aligned. These are not aligned. So how can you do that? Control A, Control Shift F. The code is formatted properly. Okay, that's a quickest way. Okay, that's it. Sir, you didn't use a D. If you want, you can use a D also. See how to use this static variable, how to use D equal to, I'm assigning some value for that. L plus BT minus SH plus I minus C. What is this logic, sir? There is nothing, and you write your own way. I am assigning this expression output, I am assigning to D variable. Now here D value is not there. Now I assigned here in the 25th line. So here what is the value? The 9th line?
The
Default double.
The
0.5.
What is the default value for the D?
Null.
Ayyo,
0.
0.0.
0.0
sir.
double. Decimal values, right? Those are a float and double is a decimal related. The default value will be 0.0. So after assigning, before assigning, this one is before assigning. This is after assignment. So that's it. That's it. This is the just development definition of a method you are giving. So this is the definition of a method. So this is all the statements, whatever you have written. These are all, you are defining a logic for this method. You are telling for this method, okay, go and do this, all this executes because of void. Void doesn't return anything. See, this is the one example for this method. You write your own logic also, nothing wrong, okay? You write your own. Whatever you read, that will execute for you. So remaining we will continue tomorrow, okay? Any questions here? So first method is done. Go and finish this and come back. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue this. Thank you.
Okay.